Hello, I'm Dr. Elizabeth Freed, and welcome to It's My Honor. I'm an executive coach doing pro bono coaching for the Honor Foundation, an organization dedicating to help Navy SEALs, Marine Raiders, and other special operators transition from the military to the civilian workforce. And today, it's my honor to introduce you to Marine Raider Jeremy Spriggs. Welcome, Jeremy.
Thanks, Dr. Freed. Thanks for having me today.
It's my pleasure to do this. It's always fun to meet with the fellows, and you're the last one for this week. So here we go. I'd like you to tell me, you plan to transition in March of 2018, and I'd like you to tell me some of the highlights of your career that you think the civilian workforce would be interested in knowing about.
Absolutely. Yeah, as you said, I'll be transitioning in next March, which is going to put me at just about 22 years of service. And during that period, I've really had the opportunity to field test my leadership, my team building skills, and my problem solving capabilities around the world. So during my 22 years, I've sort of split my career. I spent about half of it in the law enforcement, the military police community. And in 2008, I was selected for MARSOC, which, as you said, is the Marine Corps Special Operations component of SOCOM, and I've been doing that for about the last 9 years. During both of my experiences as a leader in the law enforcement and the special operations community, I've had the opportunity to really lead teams anywhere from 4 to 400 people. And one of the things that I've really learned about myself is I have an innate ability to leverage the unique skill sets of each member in a diverse team in order to play to their strengths. An example of that I'd like to give you is during my last deployment, I was asked to send a team into a country where we had a multi-million-dollar training and equipment deal that had grown stagnant, which we assessed was based on a breakdown in communications between parties involved in the discussions. So I hand-selected a team of personnel that I believed had the right confidence, the right communication skills, the right cultural understanding, so that they could go in there and assist with the problem. Once the team got on the ground, we were correct in our assessment that it had been indeed a breakdown in communication, and they were really able to provide clarity to the discussions, to the negotiation. And within a few short days on the ground, we were able to get the deal back on track. And as we sit here today, that project is about to fund and about to come to fruition for the government. So we're happy about that.
Fantastic. So tell me, what do you think are your key transferable skills that you can bring to the civilian workplace?
Yeah, thanks. I would definitely say that transferring from 20 years of service in leadership roles, my transferable skills are problem solving, again, leadership, and communication. So a couple of years ago, I took a job similar to the one I have now as an operations officer, but at that time it was of a battalion that was sort of new and nascent. They just kind of started their mission. And at this time, it was the height of the Iraq and the Afghanistan wars. And as many people know, during that time, a lot of units faced the issue of sequestration, which essentially means that we had some issues with our budget where most units faced a reduction in budget. For the unit that I was working in, we were faced with about a 35% budget reduction.
Big budget cut. Yeah. Wow.
It was, Dr. Freed. And at the time, we were also facing, based on the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, an increase in requirements in terms of having to send teams and units and personnel both to Afghanistan and Iraq. And we were also facing an increase in requirements here domestically in the United States. So using these transferable skills, I was able to come up with a sort of a dynamic plan to reorganize the entire structure of our unit in a way that no one had ever seen before, so that we could lean out the process of identifying the right training and making sure that each unit was training for the mission that it was tasked with accomplishing. And we could maximize the budget in doing that so that everybody had the right amount of training and just enough budget so that we could stay on track. So while the budget reduced, we still met mission, and we were very successful that year.
That's wonderful. So when you get ready to transition out, what kind of organizational culture would you feel most comfortable in?
I'm looking for an organization that really values excellence, and they also value their most important asset, which I believe is their people. I'm looking for a role in an organization like that that is dynamic. It allows me to be autonomous and to try to solve problems for that organization. And I'm looking for an organization that makes a difference in the world.
Okay, so if I were to talk to your commanding officer, what would he tell me your strengths are?
My commanding officer would tell you that my strengths are as a teacher, a coach, and a mentor. I make it a priority every day to transfer the knowledge and the skills that I've gathered over the last 20 years to those that are following behind me. He would also tell you that I'm the guy that takes his vision, his intent, and turns that into reality. My boss would tell you that I'm the guy that he tasks with his most challenging issues, his most challenging requirements. And in a way, I like to think of myself sort of as a conductor. So a lot of times I'll get involved in a new requirement or a new mission or a planning team where everybody's not necessarily singing the same tune, or they're a little bit out of tune, or they're on their own program. And I like to see myself as the guy that comes in there, sort of orchestrates all of the different needs of the individuals in those teams so that we can all kind of get to that sweet tune at the end and meet the boss's objectives, meet mission for the organization.
Well, I want to thank you for spending this morning with me, Jeremy. And to everyone, I want to introduce you again to Marine Raider Jeremy Spriggs. And thank you once again. Welcome.
Thanks, Dr. Green.